The referee is Carl Cheffers. He said that Carr, quote, gets full protection of all aspects of what we give the quarterback in a passing posture. So when he was tackled, my ruling was the defender landed on him with full body weight. The quarterback is being protected from being tackled with full body weight. That's the rule. That is the way the referee in this case interpreted it. We all saw what happened on Sunday with the Falcons and Tom Brady. In that case, it cost that team a game. In this case, it did not. I got to start with the defensive lineman. Marcus, what do you think of the call?
Man, it is too much to think about when you playing a football game. Like, I understand what they're trying to do in protecting quarterbacks. But guys, like, I just, the Grady Jarrett to this, all right? And you've already over time shrunken the area that you can hit a quarterback. Now we venturing in the territory of how you got to finish on a quarterback. I understand not picking a guy up and suplexing him. I understand, like, not hitting them in the head or the neck area. Like, we get that. I've never heard a defensive lineman complain about those rules, or even down low, like around the knee area. But you see where I'm going here? You see how much the quarterback body has shrunken just before we even get to these calls that we're talking about? Now, the problem that I have with this call is, one, it was a forced fumble. So you're asking Chris Jones to protect the football that he's already taken, and then think about how he's going to fall to the ground. And to that point, as far as the review, when you hear Chris Jones say it, I know Dan said it yesterday on the show, I know it looks like full body weight. But if you review this, you see a hand go down. But you also see the damn ball in his hand. He is now in control of the football while he's falling to the ground. So that's the frustration. In talking to guys that's playing in the league now, that's playing defensive tackle, defensive lineman, or defenders, period, they literally, when they get to the quarterback, don't know if flags are coming out or not. They get up looking for one because they don't know how or what the tackle should look like.
And they're not the only ones. The quarterbacks are always getting up looking for the flag and lobbying. And this is connected to what we saw not just Sunday, but a week ago Thursday.
Is episode 2 of the Tua saga. Like, this is all a reaction. The way that we are overprotecting the quarterbacks now is because of how ugly that Tua situation was. But if you think about what happened in that situation, the problem wasn't necessarily the hit or either the hits. The problem was they put him back in the game.
Right.
It has nothing to do with this, but this it feels quite obvious to me that the league, whether it was explicitly said or just implied, or the referees just took it to heart because they watched this too, it seems clear that now they're taking another step to protect the quarterbacks. And as a defensive back, I know what it's like to, after a play, just look for a flag because you don't know. Like, that's how pass interference feels. And we've gotten used to the fact that if it's incomplete, it must be pass interference.
Yeah, it's become an impossibility. And here's the part. The problem is consistency of the call. And we saw the play, and you actually made mention of it. When Mahomes falls down and then gets up, and he gets tackled, and he gets slung, that looks no different than the Grady Jarrett play that is a 15-yard that now extends Tampa's choice, right? The strip sack, my issue with all of those things, I do believe for the landing on the quarterback, it should be a reviewable play. Not every roughing the passer, but that call in particular, because the vantage point of the referee is poor. You can't you can't even see his arms when they're going the other direction. So that would be one I would say should. Listen, I've been in competition committee meetings for a number of years. I understand how these rules, and I understand the reason for the rule. But there is always a small subset or caveat. That is that time. This should be a reviewable play, the body landing on the QB.
Yeah, I think that's unlikely, right? Because what happened with pass interference a couple of years ago was a fiasco, and nobody liked it when it was under review, and they only did it for a year and they let it go. I don't think they're going to reduce protections for quarterbacks anytime soon. The good news here for people who fear that this is ruining the game is roughing the passer calls are down. They've called 29 of them in the first 5 weeks of this season, which is an average of 6 per week. Last year, the average was 9 per week. Now, to your point, 15 of those 29 have been called in the last 2 weeks. So if they are overcorrecting because of the Tua situation, you hope that doesn't continue. But either guys are following the rules or the officials are letting more go because the calls are not coming as frequently as they have in past years.
And the difference here is that it doesn't wind up costing the team the game. They still wind up winning the game. So afterwards, he's joking about his weight and all that kind of stuff. Not so funny. Not so funny if you wind up losing the game because it is a play that can absolutely turn the game.
Right. I mean, it's about this protecting the stars. And it's like you don't want to show up to a Jackson 5 concert. I don't think I can get any older than that. And Michael not be there. It's the same point. It's like when you watch them promoting these games, you're not excited for a game when they have 2 defensive linemen up there.
Right.
They're trying to protect their money. And if it ruins a game here or there, whatever, we'll deal with that. But what we're not going to have is next week, we're not going to have Josh Allen versus, I don't know, whoever backs up Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's not what they want.
And a big part of this, when you do talk to people on the competition committee, coaches and owners, that like, the quarterback's defenseless. Like, they have to protect. I mean, like what he's doing is actually putting him in a more defenseless posture than anybody else on the field. So there do have to be special rules.
Hold this thought, Marcus. I promise I'm going to come back to it. I've got to get to a break. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.